We are 10, 11 minutes early, friends.
We can't contain our excitement.
I'm not sure what I have as excitement.
Well,
me and Sydney, we cannot contain our excitement.
I'm pretty good.
What I have is sadness. Like
Hey,
Sydney
Sydney
definitely seems to be the most stable of all of us. Like I feel like me and Shelby just kind of go through it. Sydney's always just kind of like,
I'm
yeah,
we
look
good.
good. Yeah,
2-0 squad in this group.
Yeah.
So
Sydney lives in oink doink. So like,
she won't let that break her though, Shelby. You can bring up as many times as you want, but Sydney knows that's a 1 in a million play.
No, but the that may be the 1 in a million play, but the touchdown return on KJ reaching for the goal line from the 5-yard line was not.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Like I just remember I was rewatching like the highlights of that game, and I was like, "How do you do that?"
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like the wildest college football plays, and that was on there, and I was like, you know what? I should have watched this.
You know what? I didn't need this today.
No.
Yeah. We had a similar play in 2012 when Jordan Reed did the same thing KJ Jefferson did, where he like tries to reach for the goal line from like the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Against Georgia, and then Jarvis Jones just like swats the ball away and like he fumbles it and gets the ball back, and then they end up killing the clock. Every time I think of KJ Jefferson, like him and Jordan Reed are both just like intertwined because of like that's the only play that I really know of those two for.
Yeah.
Pain.
But the difference is like there's the argument of I can't even think of the other kid's name. Jalen Jones, maybe, that got the original fumble. I know Damani ran it back. I can't think of who got the original fumble, but if his forward progress was stopped or if Damani getting the ball was okay, and there's arguments to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one thing, Shelby, is that's in the past.
No.
Right? Like that's last season. Let's bring it to this season. I had to walk the plank week 1 after Utah. Your next lady up here. Give us a rundown of where.
This is what I have to say. It's not App State.
Progress.
My BAS is setting in early. If you don't know, for our viewers at home, I have battered Aggie syndrome. BAS. I've had it since I was about probably 8 or 9. I didn't watch football then, but I knew it. Battered Aggie syndrome. Problem.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. Came on at the same time as our game, I believe. So I was kind of bouncing back and forth. But y'all really, I mean, Miami tried to give it to y'all. Like
they did multiple times.
Like it was like 17-3 because y'all like blocked a punt and returned a kickoff for a touchdown or something. Special teams plays. And then the next thing I know, then Miami returns a kickoff for a touchdown. And then at that point,
it's fine. I'm fine.
It was like they were just off to the races. Like, what happened?
They decided to attack Sam Matthews, and I'm still mad about it.
I didn't get to watch any of it.
Wigman, I thought Wigman was like going to be a dude.
He was not the problem, and I will die on that hill.
I mean, I do.
In my opinion, interceptions. His first 2. One was Anias's fault. My sweet Anias. One was Anias's fault. He fell down. He knew it. The second he stood up, he's like, I fucked up, bro. I'm sorry. And the other one was because Evan also fucked up. And
what happened with the defense? Because Miami threw for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. If you score 30 points and don't win, it's really just on your defense at that point.
Yep. Because apparently, DJ Durkin's an idiot, and we should have left him in Miami.
Period.
Oof.
That's how I feel about that. And then Jimbo has the audacity to say DJ Durkin is a good man and he's good at his job. What is his job? What is his job? To suck? Then yes, he's good at it. to run our defense into the ground, yes, he's good at it. All those 5 stars on the defensive line didn't do jack shit because Jay Durkin doesn't know how to use them.
But he did last year. Y'all had a good defense last year. You should be better this year.
Should.
I mean, I have no argument for that, Shelby. Like everything, like you had all these stud freshmen and sophomores. Maybe Denver Harris is like the biggest loss. Like who else from your defense that would be here this year would be a comparable? I mean, Smoke Bowie didn't really do anything.
No, Ish Harris is gone. He's been kicked off at Houston, so he doesn't count.
Is Ish Harris and Denver Harris, is that the same person?
No.
Okay, all right.
2 different people. One went to Houston, one went to LSU.
One went to LSU, yeah.
Denver
I didn't
Harris
know if that was a nickname. Because Denver Harris got in trouble at LSU too. So when you said Houston, I was like, damn, did he get kicked off at LSU and then have to go to Houston? Okay, makes sense that they're 2 different people.
He actually did really well for LSU last week, apparently. So good for him. But he was drag racing in a parking garage, and is why he got kicked off the team.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good video.
And they sure did.
That was crazy.
Sure did post a whole ass video of it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's like, look at me. And I'm like, no, friend.
Like, what are you doing, man?
I think he was also one of the ones that was smoking in the locker room.
The visitor or the away locker room, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it like in South Carolina Stadium or something?
I think it was Alabama.
When will they learn?
We almost won. We had almost won that game. That's why like people are like, oh, Jalen Milroe is so good. He's going to be great. And I'm like, honey, even the Aggies could have told you that was wrong. Like we played him last year whenever Bryce Young was hurt, and he was ass, my dude. In the words of the great Tate Martell.
Old Tathan.
Where is he now? Anywhere?
If I had to guess, selling insurance in Las Vegas.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's like an event coordinator in Las Vegas or something.
I'm gonna Google him. Tate Martell.
Look him up on LinkedIn.
Quarterback.
I want to say it was Brock Berlin. John Hevesy, Florida's former offensive line coach, John Hevesy. Somebody found him on LinkedIn. I will have to send y'all the picture. It was hilarious. He has like the open to work logo, right?
Yeah.
Did you see? And then he's listed as like the owner, president of some like vinyl siding company in Atlanta. And then on his skills, it's like molding young men into warriors or some crap like that. Building national championship offensive lines, producing All-Americans, focus on teamwork. And I'm just like reading this, like I'm just dying laughing because it's like, dude, you were making $1 million a year as an SEC. Like he was Urban Meyer's offensive line coach too. You know, like he's been doing SEC offensive line work for 20 years, making $1 million a year. Why the hell are you on LinkedIn trying to act like you're just Joe Schmo, like pitching yourself, you know?
Oh. All it says is, why did Tate Martell retire? When you click on that, it just says, Tate Martell is calling it a career. The former Ohio State, Miami, and UNLV quarterback is officially retiring from football after 5 seasons with plans to focus on business ventures. Okay, good for him.
An entrepreneur, maybe.
Easy for you to say. All right, let's see what else happened last week besides the fact that A&M tore my heart out and Texas stomped on it.
Ethan, how was your weekend?
Mine was good. You know, I mean, we handled business, really just kind of, for lack of a better word, shit on McNeese State. Scored 7 consecutive touchdowns. I mean, it's basically what you want to do against a McNeese State. We pretty much pulled everybody at like halfway through the third quarter and then just kind of ran the clock out. It was, good FCS game. Only thing that sucks was I had to wait till 7 p.m. or I guess 6
Yeah.
p.m. to watch it, because it's like, it's for big games like this weekend, it's awesome because you get to like kind of get your excitement built up watching other games. But for McNeese State, you're kind of just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But it was nice to
I
kind of
love a
get the
good 3
taste.
o'clock game.
Yeah, CBS really has that on lock. Like when you have like that 2:30 CBS kick, like you know that you're gonna be after the first wave of games, but before the big next wave, and you can like focus on that big game of the week, and then you can kind of start hopping around to the other 3 o'clock games. Yeah, that's the sweet spot.
With all the commercials,
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that.
all the commercials. All
What
of
about
them.
you, Sydney? How did you enjoy the Hogs'
I didn't
performance?
enjoy it too much. I wish our offense looked better. The first half, I was there, and the first half was just like, what's going on? Like, we can't really throw the ball. Our star running backs out. We can run a little bit, but like, what is going on? And then the defense, we got a pick 6, which was super nice. And then the second half was just like over.
Yeah.
They got it going in the second half, but it could have been a lot better against Kent State.
Doesn't
Yeah, I was
make
just
me feel
looking.
good.
You guys are last in the SEC on offense. That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, they just couldn't
I mean,
do
not
much.
the
Missing
best
Rocket
quarterback.
sucks.
You mean KJ's not the best quarterback in the SEC?
He had the best QBR rating of the week in all of college football, so I'm still riding the wave.
Then he's like, KJ is the best. I will hear nothing less. Let's see. Can we talk about Auburn and Cal for a second? Because I
know. I was looking at that. What happened there?
I didn't even watch this game, nor did I look at the score until just.
I didn't either.
Auburn.
Yeah, I watched some of the game. It was pretty boring.
We play
Like,
Auburn.
is Cal decent or like what?
I don't think Auburn is.
They both kind of just look like shit, really. Like, I want to say they both had. There you go, Adrian. Now you have to deal with a Miami fan. I don't know. I mean, they both had like turnovers in like the deep red zone. Like neither one of them really seemed to have anything going. I mean, it was like 14-10.
Yeah.
I think Auburn scored a touchdown in like the fourth quarter. So I mean, it really was just like a stoppable force versus a movable object. Like they literally just sucked. Really, it was just a shitty game.
So honestly, what you're telling me is that next week, not this coming week, because we know we're going to be ULM, it'll be fine. But next week when I play Auburn, it should be fine. Is what you're telling me.
Let me see. Is that at Auburn?
No, it's at A&M.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. But Hugh Freeze, man, I mean,
I'll be at that game, so please don't hurt me.
Hugh Freeze, I feel like, is one of those like agents of chaos, kind of like Lane Kiffin, to where on any given game and any given day, those two guys might just scheme up some crazy shit and beat your team. But over the course of a season, it kind of levels itself out. So it's kind of really hard to predict. Like, he put up 14 points against Cal, but then he may turn around and put up like 41 on Bama. And then you'll just be like, what? Like, how did this happen? This doesn't make any sense. What? Yeah.
It's okay. Tell Adrian it's okay that Miami beat A&M because the Cowboys absolutely mollywopped the Giants. Like, it was not even close. It was a beautiful thing to behold.
That game was just brutal to watch. Like, I feel like
I don't know if you saw, but like all the bad metrics of the Giants, nobody's done all at the same time in a single season, much less in a single game.
Yeah.
And then there was the Giants. And they just paid Daniel Jones $40 million a year for that.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is terrible.
Literal ass. Now that is the definition of ass, my dude.
I can't believe that they paid Daniel Jones that much. Like, I was listening to the radio and they were talking about, Brock Purdy, the 49ers being so stacked because they really now they don't have Jimmy G anymore, and then they had Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, so they basically had two guys on rookie contracts. So they were paying, probably less than $5 million a year to their quarterback room, whereas every other team in the league is paying 30 to 50 million for their quarterback. And so then they started about Daniel Jones, and it's like, honestly, even a top 20 quarterback is probably worth 40 million because of like how important the position is. But at the same time, is Daniel Jones that much better than like the 30th best quarterback? Like the guy you could pay $10 million a year to, is Daniel Jones that much of an upgrade? I don't. He looked awful. I mean,
he was running for his life. And I understand that the Cowboys defense is good. And I understand that keeping Dan Quinn was a huge deal for the Cowboys. But like, he was running for his life.
I miss Dan Quinn.
I love him.
It was a beautiful game to watch from like the Cowboys defense end.
Yeah.
But every time the Giants got back on the field, I was like, this team sucks.
Like, as somebody who's not a fan of either team,
yeah, I don't like
just
either.
Sitting back and watching the Cowboys just like ritualistically dismember the Giants, like just methodically chop them apart. You're just like, man, this is just like, and it was raining, like just torrential downpour the whole time. Yeah.
This is what we waited all week for Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then Monday you turn around and you're like, oh, Aaron Rodgers. And then the universe is just like,
okay. Somebody tweeted, it was one of my guy friends. He tweeted, because he played 4 snaps before he ruptured his Achilles. And someone said he said 5 if you count his Achilles.
Oh.
No, honey, no.
That's a good one. I was coaching and I like looked down at my watch and I'm like getting these texts and they're like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is done. And I was like, the game just started. Like, what do y'all mean? What do you mean Aaron Rodgers is done? They're like, oh, something just snapped. And it's like, it's like,
great.
That's crazy. But I do not like Aaron Rodgers. So that's funny.
So if the Cowboys turn around and beat the Jets next week, but Dak Prescott throws one, literally, if he were to go 24 for 25, all we would hear is Dak Prescott missed a wide open CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen can throw however many interceptions and look like ass, and it's fine.
I mean,
I don't get it.
When I watch Dak, I feel like he struggles with. It's kind of like an Anthony Richardson thing to make a comparison to something close to me. Like, he struggles to make the easy plays. Like, he can make a beautiful corner route 30 yards downfield that you have to put the ball in 1 square inch of space or else it gets picked. He can put it there. And then you turn around and he's throwing a 10-yard comeback route and he just dirts it. And you're like, how?
What did you just do?
That wasn't even close, Dak. What is this? I don't know.
40 points and Dak scored 6 fantasy points.
I know that obviously he's not going to go 24 for 25.
Yeah, you never know.
But it could have literally he would do that and they would still find something to hate him about.
That's just, I've said it before. I will get on my soapbox and do the old man yells at cloud thing.
Oh, tell Brandon.
That's literally all social media, sports focused social media is anymore. It doesn't matter how great somebody plays. 98% of the engagement is going to be people saying they suck. Unless you do some kind of crazy performance that everybody's like, oh wow, it's just people bashing people. I'm over it.
I'm over it. I'm done.
I'm over it. I'm done. Done with the negativity.
All right, let's look at next week. We got LSU and Mississippi State.
Pausing.
Pausing.
The downfall of Alabama at home.
Oh, I was just gonna, enjoy talking about TU. Or
is it so much the downfall of Alabama as much as it is the rise of Texas?
I hope not.
Do not tell. Actually, no. Actually, with the proven track record, go ahead. Tell Texas they're back.
We're back.
Beats Georgia. We're back, honey. It was 5-7. It's fine.
That 2020 season was a bamboozle for many teams.
Yeah.
Apparently, beating Georgia in 2020 does not mean as much as you think it does.
No, you know what else it doesn't mean? When you beat who did we beat in 2020? That was really we beat Florida.
Florida. Damn it, Shelby. Why do I have to? Who was that team that was really good that we beat by field goal? That's right.
That would be Florida. Yeah, 41-38. It's also the score that we beat Alabama by in 2021. That's why when Zach Calzada walked across the stage for graduation, they said Zach 41-38, Calzada.
It's less points than Miami scored this weekend.
It was enough. It was enough to beat Florida, and hopefully we will beat Tennessee so Brandon can so when I go on Brandon's show in a couple weeks, and then I can go back on the next week and talk about how we won that game. Fingers crossed.
There's only one Tennessee game I'm concerned with, and that's this weekend.
Okay. Did we talk enough about the downfall of Alabama, or do we need to continue?
I got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas is back.
Like I said, go ahead. Tell them that they're back.
I think they looked real good. And not only was it like Steve Sarkisian like spreading the field out, like Texas kind of just mashed Bama. Like it wasn't really even like a, like the Ole Miss wins they had under Hugh Freeze. Those were kind of lucky. Like I don't know if you guys remember, there was like one play to where like the receiver like tipped the ball up, and then like the other receiver just like ran under it and ran it in for a touchdown, and like that ended up winning them the game. That's kind of lucky, right? Like Tennessee last year with Bama getting 17 penalties and like all this crazy stuff happening, it being in Knoxville, you could kind of see that game kind of being weird and fluky. There wasn't any doubt about what Texas did to Bama. Like, it wasn't one play. It was just 60 minutes of them kicking their ass, really.
Can we talk about the fact that Texas plays Wyoming this weekend? The same Wyoming team that beat Texas Tech. And I would die if Wyoming somehow pulled that off. It won't
Did you know Wyoming has the highest altitude of any team in the FBS?
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's like 7,200 feet.
Are they in? No, they're in Austin.
Oh.
Yeah, Texas Tech had to go to Laramie, which I think is probably why they lost.
Oh, it's not because they throw tortillas at people?
It doesn't help.
Raider rash, real thing. Okay, Brandon and I can be friends again. This is a Horns Down podcast.
Yeah.
Somebody tweeted today that said a daily reminder that our hand sign is Gig'em, not Horns Down. And I was like, thank you, though. Like,
what's Gig'em?
A thumbs up.
Gig'em. Oh, I forgot to tell you about gigging them real quick because you pushed me till next week, and here we are.
That's true.
Well, I scared
the
cat.
The callback.
I scared the cat, and now his heart's beating really fast. You're okay. Okay, go back to sleep. Okay. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's Pinky something. Pinky Downs. PL Pinky Downs. So he was a yell leader in the 30s, and we played TCU. And when you go frog hunting, you gig the frogs. That's what you do. It's a thing that you hold and you gig the frogs. So they said, he said, what are we going to do to the mags? We're going to gig them. And it just kind of stuck. So we're going to gig the frogs. And since then, that has kind of stuck.
He did a thumbs up, and then everyone else was like, yeah.
Yeah, that means gig them. That makes sense.
Well, that's how you hold the gig.
Okay.
That's how you hold the gig.
What the hell is a gig?
I don't fucking know.
I've gone frog gigging, and it did not require any thumbs up. That's the only gig that I've ever done.
You've gone frog gigging?
Yeah. You
The fuck
You
do
live in
you
Florida.
Yeah, I live in Florida. What do you think alligators eat?
What does that have to do with you going frog gigging?
There's a ton of frogs here. There's a million frogs everywhere. Gigantic, big, like frogs that are like this long.
Biggins.
Good
Big
gigging
ones.
frogs.
Yeah, the ones whose legs, when you stretch them out, they're like this, and then you cut the legs off, and you cut the tendon, and then you fry the legs.
Oh my
You guys ever
God.
had frog legs?
Yes, I have.
No.
Okay, yeah, they're good.
Things that I don't know. Mm-mm.
You get on a boat and you go out into a pond or a lake, or rivers move too fast, so normally ponds or lakes, and you go out at night and you take a light and you shine a light and you look for their eyes, and they're on lily pads, and you have a big pole. It's like a trident spear javelin type thing, and you go over to them and you gig them. And that's it. That's how you get frogs.
Says he borrowed the name of a sharp pronged frog hunting tool called a gig.
There you go.
There it is.
So you go like this.
So I have actually gigged them.
Someone tell me.
Whereas
I don't want to gigging. That's like a lot of people go frog gigging around here.
I'm more of a gigger than Shelby is. Like, she just holds a thumbs up. I've actually walked the walk. You'll have to find somebody to take you gigging, Shelby. It's
I'm
not
dead.
fun. I didn't enjoy it.
Dead.
I did it like 3 times, and it's been 15 years, and I don't miss it.
Super not okay right now. There's a whole website, this whole section of the A&M website called Aggie Terminology. In
Very
case
cult-like.
you know. In case you
Cult
ever need
terminology.
to know. Cult terminology. I am the sad leader of the Aggie cult, if anyone needed to know.
Oh, I didn't notice the sad.
Sad leader of the Aggie cult. Like I said, we have t-shirts. We put the cult in agriculture.
Not wrong.
Okay. Anyway, next
Back
week.
to business.
Back to business.
Next week, LSU and Mississippi State.
Mississippi State kept it close with Arizona.
Did they
They
lose?
won.
No, they won, but it was close. They didn't
Arizona.
run away from it.
Arizona had a legitimate gripe at the end of that game. I felt like, I forget what his name is, but their quarterback, he like scrambled on like a 4th and 10 for a first down, and they ruled that he got it, but then they reviewed it and said he was short, and the game just ended. Which personally, I feel like a game shouldn't be able to end on review.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I understand in that situation. But in that moment, the refs called it a first down. It was so close. And then you go and review it for 5 minutes, and then the game just ends.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really? Like,
That's the end of the game.
Yeah, it's like, all right, bye, everybody. Like, really, you literally just decided to end the game. You know, like that stuff. I don't know. I feel like a ref shouldn't have, like, they have that much power because, like, literally a ref could call a game at any point. But also, like, to do it on a review, I don't know. That was weak. But Arizona also sucks. So it's kind of like, I don't know how much that actually means.
Like I said, the last thing I know about Arizona is that Kevin Sumlin was the head coach. And that was a while ago. So that's all I pay attention to about Arizona. I remember watching them and they were like, we got Kevin Sumlin. And I was like, good for you. You can have him. Like, here you go.
That's funny.
Like, I just remember them trying to rub it in our faces, and we're like, dude, we fired him. It's not like you just hired him away.
Yeah, we're good.
We didn't, okay. Okay, sure. Sure. Whatever makes you feel better.
Yeah, I think
I've got
LSU
LSU. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I had LSU running the table, so, or going 11-1. So Definitely had them beat Mississippi State, even in Stark Vegas.
Yeah.
With all the cowbells
At 11 a.m.
at 11 a.m. Kansas State and Missouri. Poor Missouri. I
had Missouri winning this game.
So did I.
I don't know. I don't feel very confident in that now.
Neither do I.
I think what I picked. I don't remember.
We all picked Missouri, except for
we?
Kate. Kate's the only one who no. According to the spreadsheet, Sydney, you picked Kansas State.
Oh yeah, I did.
Look at past Sydney coming through for current
Go
Sydney.
Wildcats. Yeah.
You knew it all along.
They've got Kansas State at 15.
Yeah.
She said, I'm so proud of myself now.
So me and you versus Kate and Sydney, Shelby.
Oh, and
We'll
I picked
see.
Missouri. Why the fuck did I do that?
They stomped Troy and SEMO.
Oh,
Did y'all see Drink said like he was bad mouthing his quarterback a little bit? Someone was like, "Is this the same quarterback that you said you wanted to marry your daughter?"
Yikes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouch. Let's see. So we got so South Carolina and Georgia, all I can think about is the new SEC short with the sub 500 or the 500 and below club that Alabama is now in. And it's like, we're good. And Beamer balls, like, we're good. Or like, you play Georgia next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll certainly be rooting for the Fighting Beamers, but I picked Georgia to win.
Fighting Beamers.
Yeah, honestly, South Carolina might
be the worst team I've ever seen.
They're probably my third least favorite team in the SEC after Georgia and Tennessee.
They are the Aggies' most hated rival. If you didn't.
They're just annoying. Like that's really all. They're just obnoxious. Like
the chicken is not cute.
They've never won anything. Like they really never produced anything.
Didn't they win in baseball for a little bit?
I'm talking about football.
Okay,
I'm talking about
when you said
football.
anything. When you said anything, I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
I mean, they have women's basketball. They have baseball. I put some spec on Don Staley, but their football team.
Spencer Rattler, man. Spencer Rattler. That's all that there needs to be said there.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I said, they're the Aggies' most hated rival, if according to the SEC. At least in the East, apparently. But yeah.
I feel you.
That's why I had a South Carolina fan get all up in their feelings. They're like, "You don't even hate us. You don't even care about us." I'm like, you're right, we don't.
Exactly.
That's the whole fucking point. Like, you're right. I don't. Congratulations. Do you want a gold star? They're like, well, we beat you last year. And I'm like, okay. So did everybody else but LSU and Arkansas. So
we beat South Carolina last year.
We beat South Carolina last year too.
We lost. We almost won on the very, very last second. And Game Day Warrior was like, I was scared that I was going to have to die. Like, I was just going to have to be done. I was like, yeah, well, so was I.
See, I feel like last year was South Carolina and Tennessee getting a bunch of monkeys off their back by beating Florida, beating Bama, in the case of Tennessee, and then beating Clemson, beating Tennessee, beating Texas A&M. Like they kind of both teams had these really long win streaks that just really aren't tenable, And I feel like both of those teams managed to purge those demons. And now we're going to be back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Oh, good.
Tennessee and South Carolina sucking.
I love regularly scheduled programming. Let's see. We know Alabama's going to beat South Florida. I hope. For
Hopefully.
Alabama's sake.
I mean, South Florida gave us a hell of a game last year. They got Tennessee's offensive coordinator, Alex Grealish or whatever his name is, as their head coach now. Maybe dial something crazy up and gives Bama hell.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be something.
A&M's playing UL Monroe. Oh, wait, it's at South Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah.
They don't even get to go to Alabama. That's something. Because I was like, wait, this is backwards.
Why would they want to go? Tampa's way better than Tuscaloosa.
There's a lot that's way better than Tuscaloosa.
True.
If I see one more Bama Rush talk on my TikTok, I swear to God. I'm just saying. I'm done.
That's funny. Florida, Tennessee.
How you feeling, Ethan?
I mean, I'm feeling good.
Oh, we're at the hopium point.
I mean, of the two teams, one of us has been tied with an FCS school at halftime. Like Tennessee,
right.
It was 6-6 against Austin Peay last week. Like Joe Milton looks pretty bad. I mean, I think it's going to come down to the same thing that killed us last year. To make it, you don't let Tennessee get over the top of you. Like, don't let your defensive back fall down and give up an easy touchdown. Like, don't let Brew McCoy slide 3 feet to the right and your defensive back just be like,
Hey,
what the fuck? Where did he go? And you're watching him on TV and he's just running past to our defensive backs, just like, okay. And then you just see Brew McCoy running past him and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, as long as we don't have any of those plays, I think it's 10 to 14 point win. I mean, I don't think Tennessee knows what's coming for them. And I'm just excited. I mean, I'm excited to finally get back on track, to put Tennessee in their place. I mean, they haven't beaten us in the swamp in 20 years. It's going to be at least 22 years before it happens. But looking through the spreadsheet, obviously, I guess I'm the only person. Me and Kate, as usual, are the only people who have any faith in Florida for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. Whatever reason.
I mean, I don't know how you could watch their games so far this year. I mean,
again, this was made preseason.
I get that, but we're talking now. And you called it hopium. I'm telling you, Tennessee has not looked very good. I mean, their run game looks better. I just don't think Joe Milton is the dude. And
he's never
the
been.
warts were there last year. They've been there his whole time in college. And then this whole offseason, it's been Josh Heupel's going to make him into the next superstar. And you're like, we have 5 years of data. Like, this isn't like we have one game. Like, this dude's been benched at Michigan. He was benched at Tennessee. Now he's still at Tennessee, but all of a sudden he's excellent. And then the games are actually played, and it's like, wow.
It's almost like he's not excellent.
Dude looks like $1 million, and he can throw it a mile. He's not very accurate, and he doesn't make very good reads. Oh, yeah. That's what he's done for the past 5 years. And you're just like, yeah, I mean, but if a Florida fan or anybody else tries to say that you're just a hater, Joe Milton's actually going to win the Heisman, just like Hendon Hooker is going to be a first-round pick. All these things that go into it that never actually happen outside of Knoxville. Like, it's just like an Area 51 event to where all these scenarios happen, but only in Eastern Tennessee. So, yeah, Florida by 13. Okay. We're going to miss an extra point.
No, you would have said Florida by 90.
Nah.
Or is that a South Carolina thing?
I like to be reasonable.
Okay. If that's what you believe.
Well, I mean, so let me hear. So why is Tennessee beating Florida? What has Tennessee shown you?
Florida sucked against Utah.
Exactly, right? Like, okay, Florida sucks against Utah. Tennessee sucked against Austin Peay last week. Like
Mhm.
Florida sucked against Utah in Utah 2 weeks ago, but Tennessee sucked last week. And it's like, okay, which one of these is more indicative of future events? Like a top tier team struggling against an FCS team, or a mid tier team struggling against a 2-time Pac-12 champ? Like, which of those games is harder?
Fair.
Florida struggling against Utah. I mean, if Utah wasn't missing their starters, nobody would question it. Which I know that sounds like a pretty silly thing to say, but all the circuit we had to we had to fly to Dallas, stay for a night, then fly to Salt Lake City, and then play the next day, and then come home. That's chaos. Then we looked like shit. I mean, it was a lot of penalties. If that game was in the swamp, I think we beat Utah handily. But all the false starts, all the penalties, all that stuff, that's what cost us the game. That stuff you can clean up. That's stuff that when you're at home doesn't really happen as much as when you're on the road, much less when you're on the road 3 time zones away, having to travel 2 days in a row, having all these things that throw you off. Then you get there and you have these unfocused issues that can be fixed. I think that, we came out last week against a shitty team, but we handled our business and on to the next one. I don't think we're going to have those mistakes, and I think Tennessee will.
Okay.
But I want to hear it. I want to hear your analysis, hater.
I just like riling you up. I have no analysis, nor do I give that. Honestly, the East.
I mean, that's really how I am with my picks too. There's no analysis. It's just who do I hate more?
Do I hate you more? Do I hate you more? No. I just want Texas to lose to Wyoming. Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It won't happen, but damn, would it be fun? Because
You're not wrong.
Our Texas fan posted, I wanted to make fun of Wyoming and posted a map of the United States, but actually, where the fuck is Wyoming? I was like, honestly, though, where is it? I don't know. I can locate the corner state, California, Florida, I can locate Texas but all the middle, no idea. Nothing. Got nothing for you. Let's see. Auburn and Samford. After their showing with Cal, I have no hope.
No hope.
None. Will Vanderbilt get another win with UNLV?
No.
Okay.
I'm taking Barry Odom's team over Vanderbilt.
I forgot Barry Odom was there.
Mm-hmm. Like half of our coaching staff.
Yeah. I got Vandy beating UNLV.
And then Ole Miss and Georgia Tech.
Did we all pick Ole Miss for this?
Ole Miss, yeah.
I don't remember who I picked. I don't remember.
Yeah, we all picked Ole Miss here. Georgia Tech looked pretty good. I mean, I think Ole Miss is going to win this, but Georgia Tech didn't look bad.
Georgia Tech is where my friend is, Haynes King. Yeah, Ole Miss will win. Don't worry.
The portal and the COVID year has made it to where, you watch college football and you watch some random ass teams and you're like, whoa, that's where we're at now?
Hey!
I remember when we recruited that guy.
Can we talk about how Chase Lane has won the system? The kid is getting a free PhD right now.
Can't beat that.
It has won the system. Did it. Done. Yeah. I miss him, though. He was cool. Wasn't the greatest player, but really great guy.
He's cool, though.
Well, dude. He was very supportive of, everybody all the time. He's like, Pack Reed, go to volleyball, go to women's basketball, go do this. The football team's going this. Cool. And I was like, you go, friend.
Friend.
You go. Be supportive. We so proud of you. And then Haynes King followed him. I don't remember if he followed Haynes or if Haynes followed him. I don't remember. Hello. Oh, thank you, Rebel. Okay. Oh, don't hang up on them, please.
Arkansas,
like,
BYU.
Ooh, the fighting Mormons. I can
Yeah,
say that.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be up there this weekend and like see how they like what they're doing around Fayetteville.
As someone that grew up Mormon, I get to say that. So, the fighting Mormons.
There you go.
Apparently, they're fun though. Like BYU.
And apparently, we went there last year, and I've heard like every Arkansas fan that was there was like they were the nicest people. Like the hospitality was amazing. All super nice things. So everyone's been like return the hospitality. But I'm just interested to see how they vibe with Fayetteville. See some fans out and about.
Do BYU fans travel? I haven't seen that.
I don't know, but a guy I went to school with is on the BYU defensive line, so
Nice.
Excited to see that.
I think I picked Arkansas. I think I did. I don't remember. I'm picking Arkansas now.
BYU barely beat Sam Houston, so I'm hoping that's
indicative of how this is going to go.
Yeah, hopefully. We all picked BYU for this one. Rightfully so. But
who did? So we picked BYU or Arkansas?
Oh, we all picked Arkansas. I mean,
oh my God, I was like,
Sydney's like, wait.
Raiders.
Yeah. How's it feel, Sydney? How's it feel when everybody picks against your team?
She's like, pass self. Wait, what are we doing?
Whoa.
And then Kentucky's playing Akron. So lame.
I'm ready. I'm ready for conference play to start. Looks like next week. Next week we actually have, well, we're about halfway. Looks like Missouri, Tennessee, and Florida and Georgia all have
Arkansas
cupcakes
at LSU
left.
for a night game in Death Valley.
Oh, fun.
Super fun. We beat them last time we did that, though, so.
I was looking at the bottom of the list, and I was like, I don't see that. But it's because there's like 5 night games.
Yeah.
And then A&M and Auburn got the 11 a.m. slot, so.
I'm so happy.
If we weren't at Death Valley, we would have gotten the 11 a.m. spot, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy we got to start the season with, like, night games. Like, I feel like normally we start the season with, like, cupcakes, and so then we always get the noon kickoffs or the early game kickoffs. Mm-hmm. And then it's, August, early September in Florida. It's 95 degrees.
Yeah.
Nobody wants having these night games, and we have, I want to say our next game's a night game too. So it's like we basically started the season with like 3 straight night games. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, you play Charlotte at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m.
We have the 6 p.m. too this week.
Next week, at least. You play, yeah. And then, yeah. All right. That is this coming week. Let's hope that this time next week, I'm not sad. Because if I have to sit on the 50-yard line to watch us lose to ULM, I might cry. A lot. Real tears. Not just BAS tears, but real tears.
Yeah.
Be like, fuck App State. We lost to ULM. It's fine. It's fine.
I hope we're all happy campers in 1 week.
1 week from today, we shall all be happy campers, right? The only
we'll probably have a repeat of this past week till where 2 of us are happy and 1 of us is sad.
Who's going to be sad?
I mean, it's going to be probably either me or Sydney that's going to be sad.
Yeah.
I think that you're pretty confidently going to be happy, Shelby. Again, App State proved, no spread is
any given team, any given Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I think me and Sydney have interesting games.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting games. Ooh, the Rangers are up 7-0. I need this because Max Scherzer is hurt. Again.
Wyatt Langford, go ahead and call him up.
Please, dear God, can we please?
Did you see what Baker Mayfield said today?
Yeah.
That was funny.
You can please tell me you saw it.
What?
So
He
okay.
said they asked him about like getting the Viking signals or something, and he said, "I'm a Texas Rangers fan. I'm not a Houston Astros fan. We don't do that."
Thanks, Baker. I didn't know
That's a good answer.
Didn't know
Yeah,
I liked Baker Mayfield, but today I do. Did not know I was a Baker Mayfield fan, but
yeah, it was a good one.
here we are as Baker.
Here we are.
And we can end on the note that I am a Baker Mayfield fan and a Rangers fan. And hold on, I got to see if the Astros are losing first. Oh, they aren't. Damn. They lost to the A's twice, and I was like, how are you going to lose to the A's?
That is.
We lost to the A's, but we were slumping real bad.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the A's have like a 12-game winning streak, or like they had a pretty long winning streak at one point early in the season, right? Like, I'll have to look it up. I feel like there was a record where they like set a record for like longest winning streak after being like 10 games under 500 or something crazy. Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe there was some stipulation that I didn't catch or something. I just remember them being awful. Then they went on a tear in like May, and since then they've won like 10 games.
Yeah. And like 4 of them are against the Rangers, probably. Because the Rangers can't have nice things. Like we just found out that Max Scherzer has some kind of strain in some muscle in his tricep that it's not requiring surgery, but he will most likely not pitch in the postseason. And I was like, great. Awesome. Thanks. This is why we can't have nice things. Fucking Nelson Cruz started it. I will never forget. And someone told me this. I went on a date, and this guy told me this, that the reason Nelson Cruz was not supposed to be out there in the outfield. But Ron Washington wanted Nelson Cruz out there so he could be out there when we got the ring. He wanted him on the field when we won the World Series. So he left him out there. And the rest is history.
What battered fandom syndrome are we talking about? Are we talking about baseball now? Are we talking about the Rangers? Are we talking about Rangers baseball right now on an SEC football podcast? Shelby, I just want you to know there is one team in SEC, and that's the Atlanta Braves. Okay. Nobody else matters. If you're a Cardinals fan or a Cubs fan, who's your team, Sydney?
Red Sox.
See,
I'm a Boston sports fan.
That's fair. I like the Red Sox too, just because I don't like the Yankees. But the only team that our fans are going to want to hear about are the Braves, because they're the true uniting force of SEC football. Georgia fans, no, see, but that's the thing. The West doesn't actually exist because all of you are new. And you're the new kids at the party, so there's like 60 years of hatred that hasn't had a chance to really bubble up yet. So when we start going out to we got Missouri, the Cardinals are not SEC baseball. The Rangers, the Astros, they're not. The Marlins, the Rays, they are not SEC baseball. Gainesville's the furthest south. It has to be above Gainesville, and it has to be below Cincinnati and east of St. Louis. Who do you have? The Braves. Like, you literally only have the Braves.
No, it's the Rangers forever and always. You have to be a Rangers fan now. Wyatt Langford.
I know. I'm a Wyatt Langford fan. I like the Rangers. I mean, I Prince Fielder was a hero of mine as a as a chubby, slow first baseman. I wanted to be Prince Fielder when I tried to play baseball.
I told my little sister once at a Rangers game when we were watching Prince Fielder play, and I said, that guy has an inside the park home run. And she goes, who fucked up and how many times?
Yeah.
I was like, exactly. And if y'all didn't know, the SEC baseball schedule was released for next season.
It
Get
was.
But it looked like they put it out on like a notepad. Like, you know how like recruits will put like their decommitment post on like a screenshot
Yeah.
of like the
No.
note app. When I saw it looked like the SEC put their baseball schedule out on like a screenshotted note. So I thought that was kind of wild. It didn't look like an official SEC release.
Adrian wants to know our upset predictions before we sign off.
You know, I was going to ask this too. I'm not going to pick Florida over Tennessee because we already talked about that. I'll go something out of conference. And with that being said, I'm scrolling through now. I'm going to go Minnesota over North Carolina.
Adrian, did you miss his rant?
See, I need you to give us another listen. You got to go back to the beginning. I already went through how UF beats Tennessee. Not just beats Tennessee, but beats Tennessee handily. I think Joe Milton's going to turn the ball over. I think the Swamp is going to be our 12th man. And I think that...
You can't use that. It makes me sad.
Yeah, you guys are real original. Didn't the Seahawks use that before y'all?
No, the Seahawks actually pay A&M to use that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not even a good name.
The Seahawks now they don't want to pay us, so they call themselves the home of the 12s.
Just cringe all around. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I would go Minnesota over North Carolina.
Ooh, because F. Mac Brown. Let's see. College football. I got to find the whole schedule.
Penn State at Illinois could be kind of interesting. You know, if this were like a December game, Florida State at Boston College maybe, but it's mid-September, so I don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
I'm going Michigan State over Washington.
Okay.
Off the freshly fired Mel Tucker. Is it Mark D'Antonio coming back to be the coach?
I don't think he's fired. I think he's suspended as of right now.
As somebody who has seen their head coach.
Oh, did he resign? I don't know.
I don't know.
I saw suspended as well, but the writing's kind of on the wall.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's suspended.
Either way, he's at a minimum, he's probably not coaching again this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Georgia Tech over Ole Miss just for funsies.
Ooh, I like that. I like those two picks.
Just for shits and giggles. It won't happen, but just for shits and giggles. I love you, John, if you're listening. I love Ole Miss, but I hate Lane Kiffin, so I want sadness for him.
What about you, Sydney? What you thinking?
She's thinking. That's a problem.
She is deep in thought here.
Well, I said Michigan State and Washington, but
oh yeah, you did. I think
I like your Ole Miss upset.
I was looking at the schedule and
my Ole Miss upset didn't happen last week.
Oh yeah,
it was close. The score did not. That game was much closer than the score indicated.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Tulsa.
Tulane had like
not Tulsa.
Ole Miss had like a fumble return for a touchdown that like kind of blew the door open, but that game was actually pretty close for most of it.
True. I like Tulane a lot. I think they're
and UNLV over Vandy, but I don't know if that's considered an upset.
Yeah.
That's just two very bleh teams.
Playing bleh football.
Playing bleh football against each other.
Speaking of bleh football, El Assico, did y'all see the 4 presidential candidates go to the Iowa State game?
Yeah.
I didn't think politics in America could get any worse, and then people actually voluntarily went to the Iowa State game to try and get votes.
Yeah.
I'm not dabbling into the political arena here, but that's got to be a
That's
new
a
low
choice.
to go and choose to watch that football game.
That's a choice.
Yeah, that's a choice.
All right, friends. I'm going to bed.
Me too.
Thanks, and gig them the Aggies.
Woo pig.
Go Gators.